Hi everyone. Welcome back to Woo Can Cook. My name is Wesley, and this is a show where we are slowly cooking our way through all of the food from my childhood. Today we're diving back into our series dedicated to Thai cuisine with a shot at one of my consistent favorites at most Thai restaurants, which is a classic red coconut curry. Now, those following along with this channel will know that this is absolutely not our first curry. Some may recall the Japanese white miso curry, Thai pumpkin curry, Indian saag paneer, chicken tikka masala, and a whole bunch more, meaning that we are, in fact, very well versed now in the art of slow cooking in a wok. That said though, for those unfamiliar, a Thai red coconut curry is a slow simmered curry with a variety of vegetables and proteins, most iconically featuring the use of, you guessed it, red curry paste as its core foundation in lieu of the more commonly used curry powder. Those that have sought out this stuff in the grocery stores, however, are likely all too familiar with the fact that not all curry pastes are equal. A quick look at the ingredients list on these things will tell you the wide variety of spices, aromatics, and flavors that have been jammed into the jar already, and as you can imagine, some are more preferable than others. So, today we're gonna dive into what I personally look for in a curry paste, in addition to a few other iconically Thai flavors that I've hunted down for us today as well, including some palm sugar, lemongrass, kabocha squash, and of course, coconut milk. Okay, so let's get into it.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. Did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me please.
Okay, so diving right in, first up here, I'm starting off by measuring out a 1/4 cup of red curry paste to add to our simmer coming up. Now, as you may have noticed, I have two different types of red curry paste here before me. The first on the left is an Old Faithful red curry paste made by Ma Ploy, and the second on the right is a Taste Me paste that I picked up in Chinatown, which I honestly have never had before. At its core, both of these pastes are fundamentally the same thing. They are spiced curry blends made from dried red chilies and aromatic veggies. To my taste, this would generally be garlic, ginger, lemongrass, galangal root, kaffir lime, and shrimp paste. On reviewing, these ingredients are in fact present in both jars, but our Taste Me paste also includes a good amount of oil, water, coconut cream, and MSG. To be fair, the addition of these extra ingredients aren't a huge deal. Most of them are things that we're gonna eventually add anyway, but ideally I want to go with a paste that omits these extras so that I'll have more control over the profile of our final product. So we're gonna go with our trusty Ma Ploy paste here today. Up next, I'm diving into some aromatic veggies to go along with our curry, which today will be 4 cloves of crushed and minced garlic, followed by 1 inch or about 1 tablespoon of fine minced ginger, and a single stalk of lemongrass that I'm peeling to its core, then fine mincing. Right off the bat, you may recall that these are 3 ingredients that are already in our curry paste for the fundamental qualities of umami that they provide. I can also tell you though that adding these ingredients as fresh elements will be far more effective than leaning into what's already in the jar, so we're gonna go ahead and add these to our wok along with our veggies. Last up for our aromatics, this is just 2 Thai chilies that I'm de-stemming then slicing thinly. We're going fairly light on our chilies today because we're going to be deriving quite a bit of heat from our curry paste already, so I don't want our spice levels to get too overwhelming. Moving on with our veggies, now like any other curry, there is a bit of leeway with what type of veggies that you want to include here, and I will stand by my opinion that you should use whatever happens to be freshest at the market. I personally think that any dense, sturdy vegetable that can withstand a long simmer will work very well here. For our curry today though, I'm going with some of the more common additions. This is some red bell pepper that's de-stemmed and sliced into planks, followed by about 4 ounces of green beans with their tip and tail ends removed, then sliced into 1/2 inch pieces. Next up, this is about 1 cup of Thai basil that I'm de-stemming as well. Unlike our other veggies, Thai basil is very delicate, so we want to add this stuff at the very end or else it'll just disappear into the curry. Moving on, next up is our kabocha squash, not to be mistaken for an acorn squash, which, while very similar in appearance, is not the same thing. If you're not sure, an acorn squash looks like an acorn, and a kabocha squash looks more like a miniature green pumpkin, which is why it's often referred to colloquially as a Japanese pumpkin. Kabocha squash also has a tender skin to it that softens up during its simmer, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave this unpeeled and simply de-seed and large dice for our curry coming up. As a heads up, I only ended up using about half of this, so do yourselves a favor for your own attempts and save the second half for your roasted squashes later on. Last up, rounding this all out, is 2 medium chicken thighs that I'm similarly large dicing as well. Personally, I think that we've added enough just things at this point that our chicken is fairly optional here, so if you wanted to leave this out, which I think is also fairly common, you'll still have a pretty hearty curry going on, but again, you do you though. Last up, before we head over to the stove, I'm measuring out 2 tablespoons of palm sugar for our simmer coming up. As with our aromatics, most red curry pastes will likely have some form of sugar in it already, so if you wanted to omit this as well, you could, although I will say that palm sugar in particular is quite a unique flavor and is well worth hunting down if you can. Like other sugars though, it does have a habit of solidifying at room temperature, so I would recommend kicking this in a microwave for 20 seconds or so to soften up a bit. Over on the stove, I have my wok heating up over medium heat here, then I'm adding 4 tablespoons of peanut oil and, as always, long yao for that nice non-stick surface. Then up first here is my chicken, which we're adding to the wok and searing for about 2 minutes before tossing for some wok hei. As always, the fat rendered from chicken thigh is a good opportunity for this. Then moving on, I've removed my chicken, reheated the wok as hot as possible now, added an additional 4 tablespoons of peanut oil and done 1 more long yao. Then going in here first are my aromatics. Here's my garlic, ginger, lemongrass, and Thai chilies going in, which we're sauteing for about 15 seconds until nice and fragrant. I'm following this up with 14 ounces of coconut milk, carefully with the solids though, plus our aforementioned 1/4 cup of red curry paste. We're simmering all of this for about 2 to 3 minutes until those solids start to break down, then adding my chicken back to the wok, followed by my red bell peppers, squash, and green beans. I'm giving this a brief toss to combine, then rounding everything out with our palm sugar for some sweetness, followed by 2 tablespoons of fish sauce and a squeeze of lime juice to round it all out. Finally, I'm letting this all simmer for a minimum of 1 hour, during which time the starches from our squash will begin to reduce into a thick, luxurious curry base, like so. Ooh. Last up, as promised, here's my Thai basil going in, then I'm giving this a quick toss to combine and we're ready to eat. Okay, so I'll be the first to admit here that I am well aware that this is the most number of ingredients that we have included in a dish in quite a while, and I will also say that not every ingredient that we've included is absolutely required, particularly those already found in the curry paste that we used. So if you're having trouble getting your hands on things like palm sugar or fish sauce or lemongrass, I actually think that 1 or 2 omissions here are okay. Jarred curry pastes are, after all, an incredibly useful pantry resource to have on hand for exactly this purpose. That said, I also think that the addition of some of these extras that we've included, particularly our lemongrass and palm sugar, really helped bring our jarred curry paste to life with a brightness and complex sweetness that is truly specific to Southeast Asian cooking. Then to round this out, I also think that the inclusion of our kabocha squash played a pretty big role in forming the thickened texture of our curry, as opposed to leaning on the use of cornstarch slurry, which would be more of a technique found in Chinese cooking. I honestly don't think that the curry would have pulled together texture-wise without the starch of our squash, so this might be something to consider before you sub this element out. Okay, so that's it everyone. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you give this one a shot. For those who are new to the channel, this one is part of a larger series that we've been doing that's dedicated to Thai cuisine, so definitely check out that series next if you haven't yet, because there's a lot of these. For the Bay Area locals, the Woo Can Cook fried rice pop-up is at Wondrous Brewing in Emeryville every Thursday through Sunday, so come by and say hi if you can. More about that at woocancook.com/eats. Also, if you didn't catch it, we've got t-shirts. I'm super excited to be partnering with my good friends at Pollywog Prints to make these super sweet Woo Can Cook shirts. They're super soft and comfortable, and also there's a picture of me on the back, which is crazy. We're selling these at the Woo Can Cook pop-up, or you can head over to woocancook.com/shop to grab one from the online store too. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share, be nice interneters, and I'll see you soon. Bye.